Hi, David. My name is Kate, and I'm going to be your nurse today. Do you want to talk a little bit about what brings you in today?
Just a yearly checkup, just making sure I'm healthy.
Oh, well, it's a good habit that you come every year. Are there any concerns about your health that you'd like to talk about?
Nothing major. I just have some trouble breathing sometimes, but I think it's because I smoke. I don't smoke cigarettes, but I smoke weed.
Okay. How often do you smoke, and how long did that start?
A couple times a day. I started in college, and that was about 3 years ago.
Okay. And since college, have you smoked every day, or has there been an increase in your use of weed recently?
I don't think super recently, but I do smoke pretty much every day, at least once or twice to help me relax.
Okay. And is there any stressors in your life that's causing you to feel the need to smoke?
Yeah, I just get overwhelmed with work and life in general, paying rent, and it helps me relax and just kind of forget about everything.
Okay. Do you feel that your drug use has impacted your life in any way, or made it harder to accomplish like daily tasks?
I wouldn't really consider it a drug problem, but it just something I do every day to kind of relax and help me unwind. Like some people just like have a beer every night. I smoke, but sometimes I get super tired from it, and then I end up skipping a shift and just smoking more. So that's probably not that helpful.
I'm sure that's like frustrating because then you don't get paid, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, well that definitely sounds overwhelming. It sounds like you're dealing with a lot of obstacles right now. I'm glad that you're making your health a concern by coming in for your checkup every year. Have you ever thought about how your marijuana use has impacted your physical health at all?
I hadn't, because it makes me relax so much. I thought it would be kind of good for me, but I guess the smoking definitely could impact my lung health.
And have you ever thought about cutting down on how much you smoke?
No, I didn't really think it was that big of an issue at first, so.
Okay, well, would you be open to thinking about different strategies or activities to help cope with your stress rather than smoking weed?
Yeah, it probably would be a good idea.
Okay, great. Well, I appreciate your willingness to try some new techniques. Is there anything specific you have in mind that you like to do for fun?
Yeah, I used to be a runner and I used to read books a lot, so I could try that again.
Okay, that sounds like a good idea. I want you to know that it's up to you if you want to make these changes to your lifestyle. I'm definitely here to help you and guide you through it, but ultimately it's your decision.
Thank you. Yeah, I definitely didn't think about it really being too much of a problem and just more of a habit, so.
On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being low confidence and 10 being high confidence, how confident are you that you would be able to make this change?
Probably like a 6. I don't really think it'll be that easy. But.
Yeah, it's definitely not easy to break a habit, but I'm glad that we'll be working on this together. Do you have any other support systems that would be able to help you through this?
Yeah, I think my mom would be very helpful. My smoking friends wouldn't, though.
Yeah, your mom has expressed that she's has a problem with your smoking?
Yeah.
Okay. And on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being not important and 10 being very important, how important is making this change to you?
Probably like a 6 or a 7. I just need to find like other ways to kind of fill the void of smoking.
Well, I admire your commitment to figuring this out. It's clear that you are having an open mind about making this change.
Yeah, I think it'll also help me save more money for rent and stuff too as I go forward.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll help make things a little less stressful. Well, I appreciate your willingness to talk about this. Just remember that progress is not linear, and that you're gonna encounter some setbacks, but don't give up on yourself. As long as you're trying, that's all that matters.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, now let's go over the plan again.
So David came in for his annual exam. He admits to dyspnea, and then he explains his history of smoking marijuana a couple times a day for the past 3 years. He uses it as a way to cope with his stressors in life, such as his job and financial issues. And he states that he doesn't have a drug problem since he just uses it to unwind at the end of a long day. And he begins the interview in the pre-contemplation stage because he is unaware of his problem and he has no intent to change his behavior. He says that he has never even thought of cutting down smoking at this point, even though it's affecting his health. And then he goes into the contemplative stage as the nurse makes him aware of his needed behavior change. He is open to trying different activities besides smoking, such as reading and running, but he has not committed to it just yet. After more discussion, David starts planning to make these changes, and he shows that he's committed to following through, meaning he's in the preparation stage. And overall, the interview went well, and his goals include participating in a hobby and cutting down on the frequency of his smoking within the next week. And as a follow-up plan, he will come back and in a few weeks to check in and see his progress in obtaining his goals.
Hey David, nice to see you again. What brings you in today?
Just here for my checkup that I scheduled a few weeks ago.
Yes, of course, in regards to your marijuana use. How's that going?
It's been pretty good actually, yeah.
That's awesome to hear. Can you tell me more?
Yeah, I stuck to the plan that we set up, and I don't really smoke that much anymore. I cut down on it a lot.
Awesome. Keep going.
I only smoke a couple times a week, really just on the weekend as an enjoyment thing with friends.
Okay, that improvement is great. Can you tell me about your stress?
Yeah, I'm actually a lot more relaxed now. I go to the gym a lot to help with the stress instead of just smoking the weed. So
That's awesome to hear. How do you feel overall now that you've cut back so much?
at first I felt horrible for the first couple weeks, and then I got through all of that, and then started feeling really good, feeling more alert, and I like it overall. So
Do you ever get any cravings?
yeah, I crave it sometimes, and I only will smoke now if I'm with my friends on the weekends because I don't buy it anymore to help save the money and keep it out of the house to save myself from doing it.
What's that craving like?
It's just missing the relaxing feel that I used to get. But again, I only do it if I have access to it with my friends. So
Can you tell me how you felt when you got these cravings when you wanted to smoke?
I just felt the desire to be super relaxed and kind of just not thinking about anything else in life. When I got the craving at first, especially, I would just think about how bad I wanted it, and I was able to push through it sometimes. But if I was with my friends when I got it, then I would act on it.
Okay, moving on. Can you tell me what kind of support you've had throughout your process so far?
Yeah, my family's been super, super helpful. They were obviously big fans of me smoking less, so that was great. But my friends weren't very happy about it at first.
Maybe your family was there for you, but can you tell me more about your friends?
Yeah, they definitely kept trying to peer pressure me into doing it, telling me that it's not that bad at first, but I just kind of told them to stop and got through it.
That's good. So moving on, this process takes time and you're showing big strides. How do you feel now that you don't smoke as often?
Yeah, I only smoke once or twice a week. I definitely get pretty tempted sometimes, but I really have just been trying really, really hard to not buy it, get it out of the house, and just stay off of it as much as possible.
That's great to hear, David. On a scale from 1 to 10, how confident are you that you will not relapse your old habits?
I'd say an 8, probably an 8 out of 10. I feel a lot more confident in it now that I feel better every day.
That's good. Your commitment really shows by your results, David, and it's very clear to me that you are trying to cut down on your marijuana use and finding new ways to cope with life and stress. And what goals would you like to achieve by the next time we meet?
I'd say if I can try to get myself to going a week or 2 without smoking would be really good. I feel great all the time now when I'm not smoking, so being able to do that would be great.
That's a good idea, and I have confidence you'll be able to do it. Thank you for meeting with me today, and let's schedule another appointment in the near future to reassess.
Thank you for meeting with me as well. It was great talking to you.
He has come in for a follow-up appointment to determine the progress he has made so far. He claims that he succeeded in decreasing the amount of marijuana he smokes, going from using several times a day to only a couple times a week. He has identified alternative coping techniques to help deal with the stress from his job, such as going to the gym and deep breathing exercises. He acknowledges that the process of cutting down on the weed has not been easy, and that his friends were not originally on board, but that his family's been supportive. He attests to the fact that he feels better when he's sober rather than high, and is pleased with himself and the progress he has made so far. He's in the action stage, and he is following through with his treatment plan. We will continue to follow up with David the upcoming months and schedule another appointment in the near future to discuss how he's doing or to see if he's in the maintenance stage trying to maintain his new habits for over 6 months.